SCP-117 Complete Multitool. Object Class Safe. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-117 is to be kept in the small leather pouch it was found in, unless in use or in current study. Any personnel deemed mentally fit may enter the containment cell of the SCP, though if they are suspected to be trying to remove the SCP without permission, they are to be searched, and if that is the case, they are to be reprimanded. The door to the containment cell should remain locked, and a guard posted only when the object is in use. Description: the item appears to be a regular multi-tool of unknown make and brand found in Florida. At first glance, only the normal tools are found: screwdriver, knife, can opener, etc. But if the user is faced with a task, regardless of what tool the subject intends to pull out and use, a tool perfectly fitted for the job will take its place, regardless of spatial quantities that are being broken by the tool. All other tools seem to be present, though, after the task is completed and the tool closed. Unless faced with a task requiring that tool again, the tool cannot be found on the tool again. Addendum: those with Level 2 security clearance should see Document 117-B. Document 117-A. Effects of usage. After countless uses and testing with the SCP, it has been discovered to cause harm and possibly death to the user by means of absorbing iron, copper, calcium, and zinc from the user's body as long as the user is touching the device. Gloves seem to have no curbing effect on this, and the rate of absorption seems to depend on the tools used/created by SCP-117. It is advised that only Class D personnel are used in conjunction with this SCP to prevent death or injury of researchers. Document 117-B. Usage log of SCP-117. Redundant entries not entered unless they exhibit different results. Format: situation followed by tool produced by SCP. A loose screw on a metal plate resulted in a screwdriver, though not the standard screwdriver. A nail barely in a piece of timber resulted in a standard hammer. A piece of timber with proposed cut lines drawn resulted in an electric saw which needed no outside power source. A piece of bulletproof glass resulted in an unknown laser cutting tool which needed no outside power source. SCP resulted in a bloodied combat knife. An agent with a broken bone resulted in a small item with a trigger which, when pulled, emitted an odd radiation, instantly healing the injury. Class D personnel fit for execution resulted in communication needed with SCP-363 resulted in see Incident Report 117-3F, 05 clearance required. A non-shuffled deck of playing cards resulted in a mid-sized mechanical shuffler. A Class D personnel with terminal cancer resulted in an item similar to the 6th test. A perfectly healthy Caucasian human male with no criminal record resulted in a perfectly healthy Hispanic human male with no criminal record resulted in SCP-138 resulted in a metal plate with the phrase, "That's rough, buddy," carved into it. A silver dinner fork in perfect condition resulted in no tools could be found on the SCP. Resulted in a screwdriver. A dirty window resulted in a nozzle that sprayed a mixture of soap and water that completely cleaned the window. An uncharged iPod resulted in the iPod end of the charging cord, which needed no outside power source. A blank sheet of standard computer paper resulted in a pen seemingly filled with an infinite supply of black ink. A Samsung cellular phone resulted in a small device that, when attached to the phone, increased signal strength by approximately 250%. A paperback copy of How to Survive When Reality Doesn't resulted in a functioning lighter. A hardcover copy of A Chronicle of Devas, Non-Anomalous, resulted in a functioning lighter. A hardcover copy of A Chronicle of Devas, Anomalous, resulted in a functioning flamethrower. Item burned with no complications. A hardcover copy of A Chronicle of Devas, non-anomalous but recovered from the Wanderer's library, resulted in an anti-book lice spray. Document 117-G. Developments concerning SCP-117. After exposing the SCP to an array of different items and people, it appears that the object may very well be sentient to some degree. Because of this, we must consider the fact that the SCP is susceptible to telepathy and must not come into contact with any SCPs with known telepathic powers. Dr. Kliman. The above was a transcript of the personal notes of Dr. Kliman, who seems to have taken a harmless interest in the object. Testing with other SCPs is suspended as of September 16. Note 117-1. May 4th. Testing is suggested for SCP-882 and is under consideration by Dr. Kliman. Note 117-2. June 19, 2000. Further biological testing is halted by Dr. Kliman after Incident 117-4A. The SCP is still fit to be used for any repairs around the facilities as long as the SCP is followed by one or more armed guards briefed on the proper use of the SCP. Note 117-4, June 21, 2000. After much consideration, I must deny testing of SCP-117 with SCP-882. The risk of damaging SCP-882 is simply too great to overlook. Dr. Kliman. Note 117-26, September 16th. After Incident 117-3F, I'm forced to put a stop to all testing of SCP-117 in conjunction with other SCPs. The risk of a total loss of containment is far too great. All biological testing is to be halted until a later date, as the results so far have proved varying, and there is a limit of D-Class staff available for my research. Dr. Kliman. Note 117-27, July 20th. Biological testing resumed by Dr. Kliman with mixed results. Testing of SCP-117 with other SCPs under reconsideration by O5, though it seems unlikely future testing will occur. Note 117-28, March 20. Testing is suggested for SCP-682. End file.